Jai Hind, dear students. Today we are moving to another chapter in accountancy, recording of transactions 2. In the previous chapter, we learned about the preparation of trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. In this chapter, very important chapter from the point of view of your exams and also for your higher studies, it's very important. So, learning this chapter will enable you to adjust some unrecorded items in the books of accounts. That is, we are commonly known as, we are using the term adjustment. So, please don't forget to watch the full video. You have to learn it thoroughly. I brought different examples for each and every adjustment, and also we will solve one problem with that complete adjustments. So adjustments, why it is needed? Sometimes after the preparation of trial balance, there will be lot of items like outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, unearned income, accrued income, depreciation. These type of lot of items will be there in the books of accounts that we have to give very important consideration. As per the revenue recognition concept, some items we have to record in this particular year. Here we are following the accrual basis for recording the transaction, and based on that we are recording all the unrecorded information as adjustment. All these adjustments will be given as an additional information in the question. There will be trial balance and also additional information in the question. From that we have to find out how to adjust all these items. Already we have learned some adjustments, even though we have to learn it very clearly in which account, which side we have to adjust. Most probably one additional information have to be adjusted in two different places. Then only we can adjust based on the double entry system of recording. One adjustment will be recorded in two different places. The common items to be adjusted, which needs adjustments: closing stock, different outstanding expenses, prepaid or unexpaid expenses, accrued income, income received in advance, depreciation of the asset, bad debt, further bad debt, provision for doubtful debt, provision for discount on debtors, manager's commission, interest on capital, interest on loan, interest on investment, interest on drawings, goods distributed as samples, abnormal loss of goods, goods given as charity. Lot of examples are there, and in this video we are going to learn around 8 adjustments. 8 adjustments with the different examples, and we are learning whether it is recording in the trading account or in the profit and loss account or in the balance sheet. Remember, we have to record the item in two different places. First of all, I would like to move to the first adjustment. Already we have learned closing stock or inventory. That will be given in the question after the complete trial balance. Already we have learned how to adjust the closing stock or inventory. It is the amount that a company still has on its hands, which is not sold at the end of the financial period, and it helps in finding out the total amount which is to be included in the, which is not included in the trial balance. So it will be given as an additional information what we have to do, that is the thing we have to learn. Already you learned the closing stock will be recorded in the credit side of trading account, and we will show it in the, remember, the credit side of trading account, and we will show it in the asset side of balance sheet. So first place where we are recording in the credit side of trading account. We are recording in the credit side of trading account, and next we are recording that closing stock in the asset side of balance sheet. Please remember that. Let us look at this example. In this, it is very clear. Suppose there is an asset closing stock amount 10 lakh. We will write in the trading account. In the trading account, credit side we will write 10 lakh. Also in the balance sheet, asset side, under current asset, we are writing closing stock amount 10 lakh. Like that we have to write. So two different account, or one trading account, another statement. In two different places we have recorded closing stock. Please don't forget the adjustment related to closing stock. And another one is outstanding expense. Outstanding expense are the expense which are the company have to pay up to the end of the financial year. It is not paid. For example, when we consider an employer pays salary from January to December, but maybe due to this pandemic situation, the owner or the employer paid only the salary up to July. From July to October, the salary is not paid to the employees. So what is the word we can use? Outstanding expense. Means still the organization have to pay salary to the workers. But you know very well, whatever may be the expense we have to pay in a particular financial year, we have to pay. And also we have to collect the revenue. We have to consider we have collected the revenue during the financial year. So the outstanding expenses are added with the concerned expense. Suppose wages is outstanding, we will add the outstanding wages at the trading account debit side. If salary is outstanding, we will add the amount of outstanding salary with the amount of salary in the debit side of profit and loss account. Let us look at the format, how to record the outstanding expense. One example is here, salary 12,000. It is given in the trial balance, and in the additional information, outstanding salary 2,000, which is not paid within the financial year. Outstanding salary, it is given in the additional information. So what we have to write in the profit and loss account? First we will write to salary 12,000, add outstanding salary 2,000, and the amount will be written in the amount column. Total amount will be written in the amount column. The net value means the difference or addition. Here it is addition. So remember, outstanding salary is a liability. But in the profit and loss account, we are writing by adding that item. Whatever may be the expense. For example, outstanding rent, it will be added to the rent. Outstanding insurance, we have to pay that amount, so it will be added with the insurance. Like that, we will add all the outstanding expenses in the profit and loss account debit side. If it is wages, we will add it with the wages in the trading account debit side. After that, where we have to show it in the second time, we have to show it in the balance sheet. In the liability side, we have to write outstanding salary 2,000. When we prepare the profit and loss account, there we will add and with the concerned item, concerned expense. And when we prepare the balance sheet, outstanding expenses are shown on the liability side of balance sheet. So that is the second adjustment, outstanding expense. Next adjustment is related to prepaid or unexpaid expenses or expense paid in advance. The expenses may be what, may be what, salary or rent. Best example is rent. Suppose you just imagine your organization is running in a building which is you are paying rent. Every month you are paying the rent, and your business firm prepares the balance sheet and trading profit and loss account, the final accounts from January to December. Just imagine like that. Suppose in this year you have paid the rent up to March 2021. Actually, you are preparing the accounts up to December 31st, but you have paid a 3-month extra rent. That is known as prepaid expenses, expense paid in advance, unexpired expenses. The expense paid in advance is known as prepaid expense. It is the cost that have been paid but are not yet used up or have not expired. Actually, we have to consider the extra paid in advance amounts in the next year. That is why it will be deducted. It will be deducted from the concerned expense. It will be deducted from the concerned expense. Whatever may be the prepaid expense, from that we will deduct. Don't forget, outstanding expenses are added, prepaid expenses are deducted. Let us look at this example. Here also one item. Salary is there, 12,000 in the trial balance. Additionally, they are written prepaid salary. Prepaid salary for the workers in the additional information is 2,000. So when we prepare the profit and loss account, we are recording the salary in the profit and loss account. In the debit side, we will write to salary 12,000. And remember, prepaid expenses are deducted less 2,000. Difference 10,000 will be noted in the amount column. And what about the prepaid expense? Outstanding expense is a liability. It is we have to pay. But prepaid expense we already paid. We already paid or paid in advance. So it is an asset. Prepaid expenses are always asset that will be shown on the asset side of balance sheet. That will be shown on the asset side of balance sheet. Remember that. That is the adjustment we have to remember. And another adjustment, accrued or outstanding income. Accrued or outstanding income. In the previous two adjustments, we learned about the adjustment related to expenses. But in this fourth adjustment, it is related to income. And remember, it is the income earned during an accounting period, but not yet received, but not yet collected. Remember, you have, just imagine, you have some amount in the bank deposit. In the bank as fixed deposit. Every month you will get interest. But from the past 2 years, you didn't collected any amount from the bank as interest. And it will be accumulated. It will be added every year into your account. It is not received by you. That is accrued or outstanding income. What we have to do, that type of accrued income, which is not we collected up to this moment. We have to add that particular income in the credit side of profit and loss account. There will be, suppose it is interest received, amount will be 1,000, interest received accrued 100. We will write in the credit side of profit and loss account by interest 1000, add accrued interest 100. Total 1100 will be written in the amount column. And it is an asset. Accrued interest or accrued income is an asset that will be shown on the asset side of balance sheet. Remember that it will be shown on the asset side of balance sheet. So remember, just look at this example. Interest given in the trial balance in the credit side amount, that is received interest, isn't it? So 1000, and accrued interest amount given in the additional information adjustment is 1200. And what we are doing in the profit and loss account, we will write the interest by interest 1000, which is given in the credit amount in the trial balance. We are adding the accrued interest, add, here we have to write accrued interest 1200, then we will get total 2200. That accrued interest will be shown in the balance sheet asset side as accrued interest 1200. We have to write here accrued interest. So this is the another adjustment related to the accrued income. And just opposite is income received in advance or unearned income. Income received in advance. Any income which have been received in advance is known as unearned income. Actually, it is not for this year, but they have collected in advance. It is deducted from the concerned item. Accrued income is added, but unearned income or the income received in advance will be deducted from the concerned item. Why? Because that income is for the next year. We are preparing the current year's final accounts. So it will be deducted from the concerned item in the credit side of profit and loss account. And also we will show it is a liability. Whatever may be, we are collecting in advance income. Collecting in advance, it is a liability. Sometimes the company have to pay interest also for that income. So it is a liability that will be shown in the balance sheet liability side. Income received in advance or unearned income will be shown in the liability side of balance sheet, and it will be deducted from the concerned expense in the profit and loss account. Another adjustment, just look at here one example. Interest received is 5000 in the trial balance credit side. Unearned interest, which is given in the additional information, 500. What we have to do? By interest, we are writing the 5000 less unearned interest 500. That will be deducted. So amount is 4500. That unearned interest, additional information will be shown in the liability. It is liability, so it will be shown in the liability side of balance sheet, unearned interest. It's not unearned liability, it is unearned interest. Depreciation, it's a big chapter that we will learn later, but here the decrease in the value of asset we have to adjust. Decrease in the value of an asset is known as depreciation. Every year we have to deduct that value. It is a loss. It is a loss happening for that asset. That amount of depreciation we will calculate. It will be calculated in percentage and it will be debited in profit and loss account. We will show it on the profit and loss account debit side. And also when we prepare the balance sheet, it is charged on only fixed asset. Depreciation is charged on only fixed asset. Depreciation indicates the decline in the value of asset that will be shown in the balance sheet as a deduction from that concerned asset. We will deduct that amount of loss of depreciation from particular asset. Just look at this example. Furniture value given in the trial balance 50,000. They are charging depreciation 10%. They are expecting 10% depreciation every year. So first of all, we have to calculate the depreciation. How we have to calculate? 50,000 into 10 by 100. Then we will get the loss value of depreciation, 5,000. It is a loss that will be shown on the debit side of profit and loss account. Are you remembering the rule? Debit all expenses and losses. Debit all expenses and losses means we have to show the different loss and expense in the debit side of profit and loss account. So depreciation is a loss, that amount only will be shown in the profit and loss account because it is a loss. It will be shown in the debit side of profit and loss account. And when we prepare the balance sheet, there we have to deduct that loss from the concerned asset. Furniture amount 50,000 less depreciation 5,000. Less depreciation 5,000. Only the difference value we will write in the amount column. So this is related to depreciation. My dear students, it is very important. This adjustment is very important and sometimes will confuse you. It may put you in trouble. So please listen my words very carefully. Bad debt, you know very well. It is related to debtors, the persons who have collected products on credit and they have to pay the money. They have to pay the money. That is bad debt. Sometimes the amount of bad debt will be there in the trial balance, and debit balance will be there. And in the additional information, they will say further bad debt. Again, some debtors are not interested to pay. That is why we are writing off the amount, deducting the amount of debtors, further bad debt. The persons who have purchased the goods on credit, they are not at all interested to pay the amount. The amount is known as bad debt. And in this year, additionally, further bad debts are declared. That is, again they declared some amount of money they didn't pay. Debtors did not pay. That is further bad debt. Already there is an amount of bad debt in the trial balance. Just look at this example, how we have to adjust. Also, there will be one more adjustment. For learning that, we have to learn it very critically. So, a rate of 1,000 as further bad debt. Already there is an amount of bad debt in the trial balance 2,000. So that we have to write to bad debt. What is the amount available in the trial balance? 2,000. But this additional information available in the question after the trial balance, that we have to add, because the amount of bad debt again increases. The amount of the number of persons who are not interested to pay the amount of credit purchased, they are not interested to pay the amount of goods purchased on credit, that increases. That is why we are adding further bad debt. That is why we are adding the further bad debt. So total amount of bad debt will be 3,000. And when we prepare the balance sheet, we have to deduct this amount from debtors, because again 1,000, the person who purchased for ₹1,000 not interested to pay the amount. So it will reduce the value of debtors. That is why we are deducting that amount of further bad debt from debtors. So now we are expecting the amount from debtors 99,000. That is the adjustment related to bad debt. Further bad debt will be added with the bad debt in the profit and loss account debit side, and it will be deducted from debtors in the asset side of balance sheet. Please remember that. And my dear students, this adjustment is related to, it is a continuation of the adjustment bad debt. Provision is the term. You will learn in another chapter what is provision. You know very well. Provision is the amount kept by the organization from the profit to meet the unforeseen events. To meet the unforeseen events. Especially, we are not able to identify how much or how many number of debtors will not pay the amount in future, and how much amount we will get from debtors, it is unpredictable. There will be some person, those who are not at all interested to pay the amount of debtors, the credit purchase. So what we have to do, we have to adjust that type of loss occurring due to bad debt. That is why we are maintaining a provision known as provision for bad and doubtful debt. Provision for bad and doubtful debt. That provision will be created based on the value of debtors. Provision for doubtful debt will be created based on the value of debtors, and that provision will be added with the bad debt. In the profit and loss account debit side, we will show it on the debit side of profit and loss account. We will add it with the bad debt. Bad debt, add further bad debt, add a provision for doubtful debt. Every year the company is maintaining the provision. Every year the company is maintaining the provision, and last year also there will be on provision. That is known as, that provision will be available in the trial balance credit side. Old provision for doubtful debt will be available in the trial balance credit side because it is a liability. And this year we have to create a new provision for rupees 1600 as per this example. In this example, just look at this. In this example, debtors amount 50,000 in the trial balance debit side, bad debt 3,000 in the trial balance debit side. Provision for doubtful debt 1600 is the old provision created in the previous year, and in adjustment, these three items will be there in the trial balance. In adjustment, additional information, further bad debt will be there 900. New provision we have to create. In this year also we have to create new provision 10%. So it is the most confusing adjustment. These three information will be there in the trial balance, and the two information, further bad debt and the new provision for bad and doubtful debt, will be in the question after the trial balance in the adjustment, additional information. So my dear students, how to adjust these additional information, that is the question. You have to remember there will be old provision and we have to create new provision. So how to prepare the profit and loss account with all these items? First of all we have to calculate the amount of new provision. All other amounts are given, so we have to calculate the new provision. It's very simple, but we have to remember, sometimes it will confuse you. 50,000 is the amount of debtors. 50,000 is the amount of debtors. What is 900? It is further bad debt. It is further bad debt. So my dear students, we have to calculate the amount of new provision. At that time also we have to be very careful how to find out the value of new provision. If further bad debt is available, if the amount of further bad debt is available in the additional information, we have to deduct from the value of debtors. This is 900. Just look at this question. It is given in the additional information as further bad debt. Why we are deducting? Only one reason. We are deducting the further bad debt to find out the original value of debtors, the net value of debtors. So 50,000 minus 900 into 10%. That means into 10 by 100. We will get the new provision as 4,910. So remember, if the question involves further bad debt, while calculating the amount of new provision, we have to deduct that further bad debt from the debtors to identify the original value of debtors. Then how to record all these items in the profit and loss account? Just look at this. The old bad debt which is available in the trial balance debit side, we will add the further bad debt, that is the total amount of bad debt, so 3000 plus 900. Then we will add the new provision, that also a liability that will be deducted from debtors, that is why we are adding. So we have to add the further bad debt, new provision with the bad debt, and we have to deduct the old provision. 1600. What is the reason why we are deducting? Only one reason. The new provision includes, the amount of new provision include this 1600 also. Old provision amount will automatically add into the new provision. So this is the adjustment. Remember the steps. The amount bad debt available in the trial balance we will write. We will add, if further bad debt is there, we will add the new provision for doubtful debt, and we will deduct old provision for doubtful debt. Remaining amount will be noted in the amount column. And what we have to do in the balance sheet? While preparing the balance sheet, we have to adjust it with the debtors, because bad debt and the provision for bad and doubtful are related to debtors. 50,000 we have written in the asset side. We have to deduct the further bad debt from debtors, because the further bad debt means again some debtors are not likely to pay the amount. They are not interested to pay the amount. And also this provision also we are deducting from debtors. Only the new provision. Old provision already we have adjusted. It is not adjusted, it is recorded. Here we have to identify what is the actual amount of debtors. That is why we are deducting further bad debt and new provision. And the remaining amount will be recorded in the amount column. So let us solve one problem which includes all these adjustments. Just go through these questions. The debit balance and credit balance of trial balance is there. Cash in hand, which will be shown in the asset side, of balance sheet. Cash at bank, it will be shown in the asset side. Purchase is shown in the trading account. Return inward is a sales return, which will be deducted from sales. And return outward is there, that will be deducted from purchase. From purchase we will deduct. Wages amount to be noted in the trading account. Fuel and power, it will be noted in the trading account. Carriage on sales is recorded in the profit and loss account debit side. Carriage on purchase will be noted in the trading account debit side. Opening stock will record in the trading account debit side. Building is an asset. Freehold land is an asset. Machinery is an asset. All these assets will be recorded in the asset side of balance sheet. Salary amount is there, that will be recorded in the debit side of profit and loss account. Patent is another asset, intangible asset. General expense is recorded in the debit side of profit and loss account. Insurance, it will be noted in the debit side of profit and loss account. Drawings amount is there, 5 to 45, it will be deducted from capital in the balance sheet. And last item, sundry debtors. I think it is not visible for you. Please note it. Sundry debtors 14,500, 14500. That will be an asset that is recorded in the asset side of balance sheet. Sundry creditors is a liability. It will be noted in the liability side of balance sheet. A rent, it is a rent received. It will be taken into the profit and loss account credit side. Also look at the additional information. Please look at that additional information. Stock in hand on 31st March, that is closing stock. We will record in trading account credit side and also in balance sheet asset side. Machinery is to be depreciated at the rate of 10%. First, we have to find the 10% of machinery. 20,000 into 10%. That amount will be recorded in the debit side of profit and loss account. And also patent depreciated 20%. What is the value of patent? Patent is 7,500. 7,500 into 20%. We have to calculate this depreciation in the, we have to calculate and we have to record it in the debit side of profit and loss account. And when we prepare the balance sheet, we will deduct all these items from that concerned asset. Salary for the month of March amounting to rupees 1,500 were outstanding. It is not paid. What we have to do? We have to add with the salary in the profit and loss account. Next one, insurance included a premium of 170 on a policy expiring on September 30, 2006. September 30, 2006. That means they paid in advance. We have to deduct that amount by finding the value. Further bad debt is there. We have to debit in the profit and loss account. Also, we have to create a new provision on the bad and doubtful debt 5%. We have to create from debtors 5% as provision for bad and doubtful debt. But before, when we calculate the provision, what we have to do? We have to deduct debtors values. That where's the value of debtors? Yes, last 14,500. From 14,500 we have to deduct 725 into 5%. Rent receivable. Receivable means it is accrued income. It will be added with the rent in the income side of profit and loss account. Let us look at the trading account. We are writing the opening stock. Purchase we have noted. We are deducting the purchase return. Amount will be noted in the amount column, difference amount. Wages 8,480. Fuel and power 4,730. Carriage on purchase 2,040. Also, we are noting the sales 98,780 less return inward sales return for 680. Difference will be 98,100. Closing stock additional information adjustment noted in the credit side of trading account. After that, we are finding the total. We are finding 98,100 plus 6,800. 1,04,900 is the total. Here also we are finding the total of all these items. We are finding the total and we are deducting from this 1,04,900. And in this question, it is gross profit carried on 43,715. That is the amount. And when we prepare the profit and loss account, it will be transferred to the credit side. And also just look at this salary 15,000. We are adding the outstanding salary 1,500. We will get 16,500. Carriage no adjustment is there. Carriage on sales 3,200. General expense 3,000. Insurance, just look at here, insurance 600 less prepaid insurance. Prepaid means they paid again up to from March to September they paid advance. So we have to find out the extra paid. How we have to find out? They paid up to From March up to September they paid 170 into what is the extra number of paid in divided by 12. Then we will get 85. That is written in the difference will be written 5 on 15, 5 on 5, 515. Further bad debts 725 is there. We have to add the further means new provision. When we calculate the new provision, remember we will deduct from debtors 725 the further bad debt into the percentage of provision for doubtful debt. That total is 1414. Depreciation we have calculated machinery 2000, patent 1500. So total depreciation 3500. And also we are writing the rent income 9000. Additional information is there, rent receivable, that is accrued rent, that is noted in the credit side, added with rent, so total 10,000. And we are finding the total 43,715 plus 10,000, we will get 53,715. When we deduct all the expenses, it is net profit. It is net profit 25,586. That will be added with the net profit will be added with the capital. Remember how we have adjusted all the item. And when we prepare the balance sheet, cash in hand 540, cash at bank 2630. Just look at here, debtors 14,500. We are deducting the further and bad and doubtful debt. Further and provision for bad and doubtful debt we are deducting. So we will get 13,086. Insurance prepaid noted 85. Closing stock. Additional information. Rent accrued. That rent receivable 1000. Freehold land is there. Building. It is 32,000. Machinery depreciated 20,000 minus or less depreciation 2,000. Difference figure will be noted in the amount column. Patent 7,500 less depreciation 1,500. The difference 6,000 will be noted in the amount column. Like the same in the liability side, creditors, salary outstanding, additional information, capital account. Just look at here, it's very important. Capital, with the capital 62,000, we are adding the net profit and we are deducting the drawings. Income tax, if income tax is there, we also deduct from that capital. So with the capital, amount of capital, we are adding net profit and we are deducting the amount of drawings, 82,341. When we find the total of both sides, it will be 90,141. So remember, this balance sheet is tallied and that firm have a good financial position. My dear students, remember all the adjustments you have learned today. It's very important. Why? Because some additional informations are there. We are going to learn in the next video lesson. Don't forget to watch this video and don't forget to share this video with your friends. Thank you for your patient listening and thank you so much for your always awesome support. Thank you so much. Bye.